back with you again. And we're just a few seconds away from the top of the hour. And let's see who's joining us here. All right, we've got lots of folks joining us on Instagram. We're doing Instagram and we're doing Facebook at the exact same time. We're multitasking. Hey, there's Mark. Good to see you, Mark. All right, great. Have to put on my reading glasses so I can see who's here. And Sean is here, of course. And Roddy is here with us. And I am so excited to be back with you. I haven't done any live events for quite a while. And I was off for a little while, but I am back, feeling terrific, excited to serve you. And as we love to do, we love to take any questions that you may have. Now we're into a brand new year. It's the 5th of the month now, and I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. How are you doing? And it is time to set those goals and to really get focused on, hello, Christine, good to see you here, and having you accomplish your every desire, anything, everything that you desire. I am here to help you. Enough is a theme that we're thinking of for our new podcast. We're going to be doing a new podcast, and it really is about how dissatisfaction can stimulate growth. So Catriona is here as well, and Robert, welcome. Amy, good to see you guys again. It's absolutely such a pleasure to be back. And I am here with the wonderful Roddy, who is on our team. He's a big part of Dynamic Destinies, and he's going to take any questions. So if you have a question, you can certainly type it on Instagram. And if you have a question and you're on Facebook and you'd like to type in your question, please do. We have 2 questions that were submitted in advance, and I'm going to go to those questions first. And we're going to be here for about a half an hour to serve you. And so the first question is from the wonderful, none other than Sean, who we're so blessed to serve in a number of our programs. And Sean has a question, and the question is the following. Now, what I love about I see Miranda's question there. Make sure you get that one, Roddy, so that we can address it. What I love about the question that Sean is asking here is that this is a question that a lot of people have. This is not the first time I've been asked this question. It's certainly not the last time I will be asked this question. And I think it's a really good question. And I want you to hear the question, and I'd love for you to really listen to the answer to this question as well. So here we go. Questions from Sean from Ireland. He says, what do you do when things you've been working for aren't manifesting? Anybody relate to that? I'm sure many of you can. And without trying to set a time on it or figure out the how, are there times when you should move on to something else? Here's my answer. So I'm going to answer the second part of the question, and then I'm going to go to the first part of the question. So the second part of the question is, should you move on to something else? Well, that's something that only you can decide, because here's what I believe. If you have a passion, if you have a burning desire in your heart, if you really, really want something, you want that goal, you're going to keep going. You'll be like a dog with a bone. You know, I have my rawhide dog bone right here in my desk at the ready, and not to chew on it, but really to illustrate the point. When you have a goal that you have no earthly idea how to accomplish, but you really want it, you would love to have it. That's all you need to know at that point. It's your goal. Do not let it go. Don't drop it. Don't let anyone else take it away from you. Stick with it, because most people, they underestimate how long it's going to take to get to that goal. They don't realize that there's that gestation period, the period of time that's going to elapse before all things manifest into form. So that's a part of the challenge that people experience, is understanding what is the gestation period. And no one can tell you what that is for a goal, because it's different for everyone. Everyone thinks differently. Everyone feels differently. But the truth is this: when you really feel yourself right into that goal, as if it's manifested in your life, it's absolutely going to happen. Absolutely, you have to know that. You have to trust that. You have to understand the laws of the universe. Actually, you don't even have to understand the laws of the universe. You just have to believe me, because I'm going to tell you it's absolutely going to manifest. So the process of manifestation involves you deciding what you would love, determining what it feels like when you have that in your life, and then you go straight to feeling and you live in that. It's the livingness of. You're feeling it every single day as if this is your life. And this is the process of manifesting. The challenge is it's not easy for most people because of previous conditioning, because of the way that you're already wired, because of the belief system that you already have embedded into your subconscious mind. But the good news is you can change it, and you can change it over time. But you absolutely must be committed to it. You must discipline yourself. You must get in the study and stay in the study, and you must only think about what you desire. And then the moment you start thinking, this isn't happening, or why isn't this happening, or you're frustrated, understand you've gone off track. Anytime you're feeling anything unlike, wow, I'm so happy and grateful that my goal is achieved, you're off track. It's simple understanding, not as easy to apply. But what you do is get yourself really ready. Get yourself ready to switch out of any negative thought or feeling instantly, as fast as you possibly can. And the way that you switch out of negativity or destructive thought into a creative thought or positivity is a number of ways. It could be simply looking at your goal card and reading your goal and becoming emotionally attached to your goal and feeling it again, feeling as if it's here now. It may be asking yourself a question. Now that my dream is fulfilled, how do I feel? And you go straight to feeling. All right, you go straight to feeling. Right on the dashboard, on my keyboard of my laptop here, I have a little yellow sticky note. And the yellow sticky note says, I only think from my goal. Now I could expand that and say, I only feel from my goal as well. Now why I put that on my keyboard is a constant reminder. If I look to my right, I see another index card that I have written out. And on that index card, it says, I live in the joyous expectancy of the best. So I turn my head just a few degrees and I can see that. I turn my head to the left and I can see images and other items on my desk that are representation or representatives of my outcomes. I have my wood triangle here on my desk that has reminders. What would I love? Now that my dream is fulfilled, how do I feel? And my success is absolutely guaranteed. Now just think about that for a moment. Just think about this one idea. Your success is absolutely guaranteed. Now think about that for a moment. Do you believe it? Now maybe you do, maybe you don't. But I'll tell you this, you can believe it. And how you can believe it is through repetition. Now what Bob Proctor calls space-time repetition simply means that it's something that you're thinking about and you're feeling and you're connecting with all the time, like on a regular basis, repetitively, right? So I love the idea that my success is absolutely guaranteed. I also know that it's true. And I know that any goal that you can set for yourself, any goal that you can become emotionally involved with, meaning you're feeling it as if it's here now, you will succeed. It's guaranteed that you're going to succeed. And why it's guaranteed is because the laws of the universe are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They don't shut off. They're available, and they're available to everyone. But not everyone is doing the work. Not everyone is following the guidelines. Not everyone is even aware of how to manifest. But when you have the understanding, when you have that awareness, and when you decide, this I will accomplish, or this I will have, but you don't declare it to the universe as something you will have or something that's in the future. You declare it as now. It's right now. I'm so happy and grateful now that. So the moment you decide that you're going to manifest something in your life that you've never manifested before, think about what it feels like to have it. I've done this with every goal that I've accomplished in my life. I think about accomplishing the goal of being a New York Times bestselling author. I decided in advance I am a New York Times bestselling author, but the reality of that came later. And it didn't come until I was in harmony with that outcome as if it was in my life now. I felt it in my heart. I celebrated it. I created visuals that confirmed it. And I looked at them and I studied that and I felt it every single day. It became a part of my Power Life script, listening to it over and over and over and over again. Because the truth is, as you hear something, or when you hear something over and over and over again, you have a tendency to believe it. Not always, because you could hear something over and over and over again and just reject, reject, reject. Because your conscious mind is your reasoning mind. Your conscious mind has the ability to accept these ideas or reject these ideas. You could be listening to me right now or in one of my training programs and not accept the idea. The reason why you don't accept the idea is because of your own belief system, which are held in your subconscious mind. So your subconscious mind may just say, not possible for you, and just may reject it. However, when you keep feeding your conscious mind with these valuable ideas and stay in the study, you're going to find that your thinking is going to start to change, and it takes some time. And so, Sean, this is a long way of answering your question. If you really want that goal, if you would really love to have that goal, then stay connected to it as an outcome. Don't throw away the goal. So many people have done that over the years because it didn't happen when they wanted to happen. Just make sure that you are staying in harmony with the goods that you desire. You're staying in harmony with that goal. You're feeling as if it's here now, and it's absolutely going to manifest for you. All right, we've got a lot of questions that are coming in now. So let's go to our next question. It's from Renee. My question is, I have some pictures and quotes, and I want to manifest money to join Skipping Levels. So by the way, Skipping Levels is a program that we offer at Dynamic Destinies. And this program is designed for those that really want to experience quantum leaps. It is a very serious program. It is the best materials that we have. Absolutely recommend it for anyone who would love to finally make some lasting change. Okay, so what's the best, lowest budget platform to launch such a thing? Facebook. Facebook is a great place to launch such a thing. You can create web pages, web presence for nothing. There's places that offer free hosting as well. So online is absolutely the best place. Just create your own web presence or go on social media or choose one of the like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Like find one of them. I have a neighbor who's earning millions of dollars from posting videos on YouTube. So choose one that you feel drawn to, that you can resonate with, and then give it your all. Give it your attention. Also, Renee, just like it sounds like you'd love to join Skipping Levels. Make a decision you're joining Skipping Levels. And you're going to find that you will absolutely attract the funds to get there. We do have a payment plan for it as well. So just commit to it and you'll absolutely find a way. All right, Miranda has a question here. How are you teaching your youngest grandchild of this life? Can you no to a baby? What word do you use instead of no? Well, no is a word in the English language, and no is not necessarily a word that's a bad word. No can be a word that can prevent them from, touching something hot. So, like I have a granddaughter who's 8 months old, and I have a grandson who's 10. I'm very blessed to have my grandchildren. And when a child is born, their mind is wide open, especially a baby, And I know my daughter-in-law and my son, they speak to Aria, that's the name of my granddaughter, in very positive ways. My daughter-in-law, well, she's on maternity leave right now, but actually works with me. She works in Dynamic Destinies. She understands these materials. She understands how important it is to communicate to a baby or to a young child just what's possible for them, and of helping them to build such a strong belief system that they feel confident and they feel the love and they feel that they know that they can accomplish any goal that they set for themselves. And it starts when they're babies. So saying the word no to a baby is not necessarily a bad thing. It could be a learning experience. It could be that you're teaching them something or a way to stop them from touching something and or from hurting themselves. So I don't think it's a negative word or a bad word. Sometimes it can be a very powerful word or a positive word. But it is important to teach babies. I was telling my husband last evening that I bought these books for my son when he was a little fella. He was probably 2 at the time. And I bought a series of books called Value Tales. And they were books that were written like the value of determination, the value of understanding, the value of never giving up, like those kinds of ideas. And the reason why I was reminded of those Value Tales books was because we watched a movie on Netflix called Harriet. It's a wonderful movie, very inspiring movie, and it was based on the life story, the true life story of Harriet Tubman, who freed many slaves, and she had been a slave herself. And one of the Value Tales books actually is the story of Harriet Tubman, and probably the value of persistence, because she was very persistent and she really cared. Maybe it's the value of caring. But either way, the reason why I mentioned those books is because when my son Michel was a little fella, I would read him those books. And when he got older, he could read them himself. And they were all books on very positive ideas and positive suggestions. And so it fed his young mind, his wide open mind, really great ideas. And so that was one of the things that I did. Also, when my son was little, I always had either DVDs at the time or VHS videos, because it was a long time ago that he was little. I had VHS videos of different speakers, and I would watch them even when he was in the room. And I would do that because he was also receiving the information, even though he may not have understood every word. Also, whenever we were in my car and I was driving him to and from school, because my son went to a private school and it was at the other end of the city. So it took me about 45 minutes, depending on traffic, sometimes an hour, to drive him to school. So when I'm in my car, and I started this back in the 80s, it is like a great opportunity to learn. So I'm always listening to audios in my car. Well, my son would listen to them as well. And so because my son was in the car and I didn't have the radio on playing songs, I'd have audios on. And even as my grandson, who's now 10, and we've invested lots of time together, anytime he gets in grandma's car, it's playing either my Power Life script or some other audio, Dr. Joseph Murphy or Bob Proctor or Earl Nightingale or Napoleon Hill. And so my grandson gets exposed to that. So expose your children to these materials at a very young age, even though you may think that they don't understand. Like I have reminders all around my home. And I know when my grandson comes here to visit, he sees them. Just what I mentioned earlier when I was answering Sean's question. You know, I live in the joyous expectancy of the best. He sees that. He observes that. And sometimes, he'll say, can I have one of those triangles that says that your success is absolutely guaranteed? It's like, sure. And I'll give him one, and he puts it right on his piano because he's into playing the piano, and he's so good at that as well. So teach your children young. Okay, the next question is from Hamid. And this question is, what are some ingredients not revealed when it comes to the law of attraction? Some ingredients that are not revealed when it comes to the law of attraction. I'm not sure what you're referring to as far as ingredients not revealed, but when it comes to the law of attraction, the law of attraction is the subsequent law of the law of vibration. And the law of vibration is basically, how are you feeling? Because when you feel, you are like my magnet here. You are drawing to you like energy. You're an energetic being. And as Einstein said, energy is all there is. So you're an energetic being that is a human being that's feeling. And as you're feeling, you're attracting. That's what the law of attraction is. But the law of vibration is, how are you vibrating? Like, what energy is going on within you? Are you expecting the best? Do you live in the joyous expectancy of the best? Do you live and think and feel from your goal? Are you constantly in the spirit of knowing that your goal has already manifested? Those are ingredients that are necessary to attract to you everything that you desire. So if we think about individuals who are financially struggling, and I was one of them. I was one of them, so I understand that struggle. Understand what it's like to go without. Understand what it's like to want things that you feel you can't have, at least until I got into the study. So I know what that's like. But what happens is when you're constantly in a state of wanting, when you're constantly in a state of desperation, when you're constantly focused on what you don't want, which is more debt or more lack What do you attract? More of the same. It's like that expression, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Why is that expression even there? Because nothing stays the same. And people that have consciousness of abundance, have consciousness of wealth, they will attract to them wealth even if they find themselves in a dip, or even if they find themselves without for a short period of time. See, Mark Victor Hansen used to say this. He said, if we took all the money in the world and we divided it evenly amongst everyone, there would be more than enough. However, here's what would happen. And this is because of conditioning. This is because of your belief system that you've already established. Now, you can change it, by the way. But what would happen is the money would quickly be attracted back to those that are of wealth consciousness, that already believe that they are wealthy. So when I started dating my husband, as an example, and we were standing in my kitchen, we just started dating. And of course, he worked for the military and was an employee of the military for 30 years. It was pretty much the only job he ever had. And it's what he knew. And he was a pilot and he was really good at it. So I was an entrepreneur. I was running my own business. So when we started dating, Denny asked me the question, what happens when you're not earning money? And I didn't even understand the question. It made no sense to me. Why? Because that's not the way I was conditioned. And I answered him this way. I said, I'm always earning money. And he said, well, what happens if you get sick? I said, I don't get sick. What happens if you get hit by a car? I said, I'm not going to get hit by a car. Well, it turned out in 2021, I got sick and I wasn't working for a few months. But I was still earning money. The business was earning money. And so what I realized is that Denny's belief was, and his conditioning was such that he believed that you work for the government or you work for a corporation, and that's how people made money. And if you're an entrepreneur, it's riskier. And it's neither riskier or not risky. Like, you could work for the government and get laid off. You could work for a corporation and get laid off. But you could be an entrepreneur and have unlimited opportunity. There's no end to what you could earn or accomplish in your life. And what I loved about being an entrepreneur is the freedom, the time and money freedom, the freedom to do what I want when I want, and the freedom to earn what I want. And so I'm not even sure, I think I've gone way off that question there. We're talking about the law of attraction. Yes, so I'm talking about how people are conditioned a certain way. But here's some really good news. You can change it. You can change your conditioning. You can change your beliefs, which ultimately will change what? Your results, right? But you first have to change the inside before you'll ever experience anything outside, all right? And it takes time. It definitely takes time. It takes an investment. It takes an investment of energy. It takes an investment of money sometimes. It takes an investment of effort. But it's not hard. It's not difficult. Yeah. So Michelle says, I want financial and time freedom. Well, we can help you with that. We've got a great solution. Destiny Coach. Become a Destiny's Coach. And Roddy will put the link in there. You want to check that out. This is exactly how you can create time and financial freedom. But when you declare to the universe and you say, this is not a criticism, this is simply an observation, but when you say, I want something, the universe responds and says, indeed you do. Want it. So as long as you're declaring or saying, I want something, that means you don't have it. You see, it's kind of a backward way that we've been conditioned to think, but it is the process of manifestation. You must first think as the person who already has, and feel as the person who already has what you desire, and you will attract it. You don't have to know how. It's the greatest lesson I've ever learned. You do not have to know how. Now, last weekend, we ran an event on Friday and Saturday. It was an event that we intentionally made the tuition really inexpensive. It was called Make Your Dreams Come True in 2022. It was such a success, we're going to do it again. We're going to do it again the first 2 days of February. And I absolutely recommend that you you can sign up now. Roddy can put the link there. You can sign up and get the replays from the January event. We'll announce the February one soon. It's not ready yet, but just so you know, we will be doing that event. And that's what the event is all about. giving you the guidance to show you how to make your dreams come true in 2022. All right, Melanie has a question. Can you explain what it means to think into results? All right, great question. If we think about results, how are results formed? How did my business come to be? Well, the business came to be by first thinking of having a business, and then thinking of what that business would be and how it would serve people and what would be the name. All of that was a sequence of thoughts that went in an order. And then what did I do? I took action. I incorporated the business. I did not have entrepreneurial parents. I didn't have anyone that was showing me how to run a successful business, but I haven't had enough understanding of these materials to know and to believe I will create success. So 27 years ago, I incorporated my business. So I thought of an idea and created the result. And I've done that time and time again with numerous accomplishments. My husband is a think into results example. I thought I'd love to have a relationship. I set it as an objective, seeing it as if it was in my life now, felt it as if it was in my life now, and I really connected to that outcome. One day I'm out walking my dog and I meet Denny. We start dating, we're married. Now that was 18 years ago now. I literally thought him up. I didn't know how I was going to meet him. Friends were saying, go to bars or go on those websites, where you can meet. Nope, not interested in going on there. Not that I was blocking it. I just wasn't attracted. Wasn't interested in going to a bar. Wasn't interested in going to an online dating site. And they're like, what do you think? He's just going to come to your door? It's like, I don't know how I'm going to meet him or when I'm going to meet him. I just believe I will. It's already done. And so I went out walking my dog. Sure enough, I met him. An unexpected way. And quite often, people's accomplishments, when you follow the process of manifestation, occur in an unexpected way. I bought a home many, many years ago and didn't have the money to pay for it. But I was absolutely set on owning a home and having a beautiful home. And I bought it. Didn't know how I was going to pay for it. Yes, I felt the fear, but I understood how to deal with fear. Understood that fear is simply the opposite of faith. Understood that I can convert that fear into faith. And I can do it through space-time repetition. And I connected to the outcome. And it was 4 days before the house was closing that I got all the money to close the deal from a stock transaction. I'd never played the stock market before. How did that happen? It wouldn't have happened if I hadn't have set the intention, if I hadn't have committed to the outcome. It was literally a thought that I followed through on. It became a result. All right. We're just a few minutes away from the bottom of the hour. We have 2 more questions that I'm going to address. And here's the question. I'm manifesting financial abundance. Do I manifest the perfect job, my side business growing, or just focus on the main outcome of having financial abundance? It is the main outcome. Let the universe show you how. There's many ways to earn money. Now, the most common way is you exchange $1 for an hour. Now, as Bob Proctor says, it's the worst way to earn money. Well, I don't necessarily agree that it's the worst way. It's a good way. It keeps a roof over many people's heads, puts food on the table, so it's not a bad way. It's just that it's limited because of hours, right? The number of hours. Sooner or later, you're going to run out of hours. You can't work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week and not sleep. But that's the way most people earn money. Another way that people earn money, and it's a very small percentage of the people that do this, is they get their money working for them. Investments, things like that. And very, very tiny percentage of the population actually earn more money that way. But it's a great way to do it. The third way is by having multiple sources of income. Now, it doesn't have to be multiple. It could be one source of income. You could be a destiny coach and you could earn unlimited amounts of money. And that could be the way. But here's what I suggest for anyone who has a financial goal. I have a financial goal, by the way. It is my top goal. What I suggest is see yourself earning the kind of money you would love to earn, but be specific. Set a specific amount. But put some wording around it. That could be something like, what I have on mine is that I am making a positive contribution to the lives of hundreds of millions of others. So for me, it's not about the money. It's about the difference I'm making as I'm earning the money. And that can be accomplished. I have multiple sources of income. I have 19 books. My books are in 37 languages. Not all of them, but Some of them are in multiple languages. I also have programs that are taught on other people's websites. We have our programs. And I have multiple sources of income. I also have my money earning money for me. So there's many, many ways of creating financial abundance. And so what I suggest is to focus on the outcome only and allow the universe to show you the way. You will get inspired with ideas when you stay connected to the outcome that you desire. The next question is from Selena. How do I manifest getting upgraded to first class seats on my next trip? See yourself sitting in first class. Now, it may or may not happen. It might not happen on the next trip, but it might happen on the trip after. But just see yourself and do whatever you can. Like sometimes they allow you to put in like one airline, Air Canada is an example, which is an airline I fly, although I haven't flown them in a couple of years. But they have this thing where you can put in a bid for an upgrade if they don't sell out all their first class tickets. So you could do that. Or depending on the amount of flying that you do, airlines sometimes will choose some of their more frequent flyers and they'll upgrade them just automatically. Or what some people do is when they go to check in at the gate and they're at the counter, they ask. See, if you don't ask, you don't get. Now you may ask and not get, but ask. Ask for the upgrade as well. But what you do is see yourself sitting in those big seats. See yourself, being served the meal with real silverware, if that's what they're still doing on the flights. See yourself enjoying the first class travel. And I know many, many years ago, I decided that was the only way I was going to fly, is either first class or private jet. I don't fly private jet a lot. I've flown on a private jet a number of times. And so in my Power Life script, and by the way, every one of you should have a Power Life script. And if you don't, go there now and sign up for it, powerlifescript.com. In my Power Life script, it says that I travel either first class or on a private jet. So one or the other. And so you put that in your Power Life script. Now the Power Life script is the one tool that I've created and I use that has made the biggest difference in my results. That's why I believe everybody on the planet should have a Power Life script. Okay, one more question from Lillian. We're going a little bit over time, but that's okay. And the question is, how can you keep focused on manifesting when so many things have continuously been a very hard struggle, even when you keep saying your intentions and trying your best? Okay, Lillian, you keep going. You answered your question with your question. Keep setting your intentions. Ensure that you are doing more today than what you did yesterday. It's not that difficult to take it up a notch. Like, ensure, I was teaching this yesterday in the Skipping Levels class, actually. And one of the things that I suggested to Skipping Levels members is decide which ways you're going to become better. Like, how are you going to be more disciplined in what you're already doing, in the activities that you're involved with? For example, listening to your Power Life script. And if you don't have one, Lillian, I suggest that you get one. So Power Life script, like there's a program where I teach it extensively, like everything that you need to understand how to effectively create this tool and use this tool. So once you create your Power Life script, what you do is, as you're listening to it, you're actively listening to it. Like you're really emotionalizing it. So when you're hearing yourself talk about how amazing your life is and how you're easily earning an annual income of, and how you own your beautiful, gorgeous home outright, and how you're flying first class or whatever it is that you desire, and you're saying all these things in the present tense as if they're already in your life right now, understanding you don't have to know how, but as you're listening to that, really feel it. Like, feel what that feels like, knowing that what you desire is already here right now, right? So we can always do better, always. A number of years ago, I decided that rather than listening to my Power Life script only once a day, I would listen to it at least 7 times a day. It's now become a habit. It's a habit. Repetition. You want to repeat these ideas into your conscious mind so that they get impressed into your subconscious mind over and over again so that it becomes a part of who you are. This is how you change your life. This is how I changed mine. This is how many people who are successful today change theirs. And what I love about the Power Life script is all you have to do is push play once you create it. Just push play. You can listen to it in your car. If you have Bluetooth, hook it up to your car. Every time I get in my car, my Power Life script is playing. or as I'm getting ready in the morning, I have it playing. We go walk our dogs pretty much every day, and it's playing. I have my earbuds in and I'm listening to it and it's playing. So it's constantly impressing my subconscious mind only with the outcomes that I desire. I suggest you do the same. All right, it works. I've heard so many stories. Yeah, Michelle says it really works. Sets my vibration high. I love that. Perfect. And I have heard story after story after story about people that have manifested amazing things. Amazing things. All right, well, I want to thank you for being here with us today. It is always an honor and a pleasure to serve. We are going to do our best to be back with you every Wednesday. If we can do it at noon, we will. Next Wednesday, it looks like we have one of our programs at noon. So we may do it at 1 o'clock or 11 o'clock. We'll adjust the time, but Wednesday's the day that we're doing our Facebook Live. We'll do Instagram Live as well. Please join us. Also, tell your friends about this as well, and I'll answer any questions that you have during this time that we have together. So thank you very much for being here. I want to thank Roddy, who has been diligently and very focused, running around, grabbing all the questions, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Happy manifesting. Bye-bye.